tonight. 3, 2, 1. What's happening, YouTube? You're in the building with the living legend, Larry, me, Lamont Tyson. We are the Life Gain Avengers of current culture, and we got a fire show for you guys today. In my opinion, living legend. How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling all right. It's going to be an interesting show. I don't think we've done an entire show about nothing but pornography. This is going to be crazy, man. This is going to be crazy. I'm not sure people are ready for this.
Man, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing the furthest thing from that you can never imagine. We've got count them, 7 subjects to get through in an hour. And 3 of them involve, 2 of them involve Marvel, and 1 involves DC.
Nice. Hey, I got to give a shout out already to Jack Farr in the building. He says I'm up at 2 a.m. for the stream in England. All right.
Yo, my brother, Jack Farr, you get to pick the first number. Pick a number 1 through 7, and whatever you pick, we're going to run with it. Larry, you get the second choice today. Anybody watching us from England,
he picks first. I'm gonna wait to see what he picks first, and then I'm gonna go after that.
And while he's picking, let me shout out everybody in the building. Mike Willie, my family. He be putting out the best theories, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know about Mike Willie, you will. My folk Buzz, Get Like Troy 113, DeAndre Mucella, who hang with the fella. But you know, I'm mad with Mucella. Matter of fact, I'm ignoring Mucella because she know what she done, and you were wrong. you and Larry, you know what I'm thinking of.
Mooch, you're completely in the right if it's with the lock and keys. If it's with the lock and keys, baby, you're all right. Go ahead, keep posting those locks and keys.
And she know that's what she did. So Jack Farr, Larry, he picked
our mate from across the pond. Remember, he's from England. We have to use the proper verbiage. He's our mate from across the pond. There,
he's our mate from across the pond. And Jack Farr, number 6, is dealing with stocks. Me and Larry just got finished talking about this. And this is a breakdown of Nio. Nio is an EV stock maker out of China. And they're having their earnings call. And they've got a big push. And then they had a subtraction. But take a look and we'll break it down.
Now, BlackRock is taking a massive stake in Nio Stock. In fact, what's even crazier is they're increasing their positions. Now, even I'm playing a little bit of the Nio options. Currently, I'm down just $72 on this specific option value. But last week, man, I did make a few $1,000s from Nio options. I sold at the very top, and obviously I had to buy some calls towards the bottom. Let's just see how it goes in the next few days, since we just got a lot of volatility about Nio Stock because of some really crazy reports. So BlackRock, currently, they have assets under management, $6.84 trillion. And if you check out Nio Stock so far, in the past month, it's surged 71%. Past 3 months, it's going up. When BlackRock buys something, they usually hold it for long term, kind of like Warren Buffett. But of course, BlackRock has way more money. They seem to really like Nio Stock. In fact, they're one of the biggest shareholders of Nio. Nio right now is worth roughly $48 billion. It's pretty decent. I feel like it definitely surge up even more. If you watch my previous videos, you probably have known I usually say a lot of things about Nio. I'm really bullish on the stock. I feel like long term, it will be a major EV competitor within just a couple years. Now, if you check out these filings, BlackRock reports a nearly 25% increase in ownership of Nio shares. So on November 6th, 2020, this is literally a week ago, BlackRock filed a 13F HR and disclosed ownership of, guess what, 53 million shares of Nio.
Ladies and gentlemen, and when they disclosed that they bought that much Nio, it went up like gangbusters. But then we had another financial institute say that they're pulling back on Nio. Now, this is what I've done this month. At the first week of November, ladies and gentlemen, I pick some stocks and I do what you call swing trading. Swing trading is defined as when you buy a stock and you hold it for under a period of 365 days. That's called swing trading. I'll do that for 3 months, 3 weeks out of a month. I bought Nio at $33 and I just sold it today because they're having their earnings call tomorrow. Now, I'm thinking a lot of people are going to jump right on out that ship, only for it to grow later on. So I am a fan of Nio, and I would tell you, if you don't have any, wait for the next pullback and sit on it. Larry, how are you feeling about Nio as a stock? It has actually made more of a percentage than Tesla in just less than a year.
Well, now I'm wondering maybe I should sell mine and buy it back. You know?
Yeah, because you up there, bro. You need to pull off some of that money before they try to pull that stock back to like $24, which you would still be up. But you want to
bought mine. I got in at 888, I think it was. So I mean, I'm good. It would have to really tank for me to lose money on that one. But I mean, if I can, I mean, if it's at 40 something now, maybe I should just buy some now, take profits, and buy some more when it, if it drops a little bit. So I might put an order in. I might put a sell order in.
Take your profits, brother. And depending upon how it goes Wednesday morning, you might want to ride it a little while longer until your RSI gets closer to 30. Then pull your profits, brother, and just sit back and chill and see how the market starts to play out as we get close to the end of the year. But ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, Larry just hit me with this. For all my people that have been following us that got Nio back in March, that got Tesla just released the news that on December 20th or something like that, they 21st? Will be in 21st, they will be included into the S&P 500. And what did the stock do in the after hours, ladies and gentlemen? That bitch went from 409 to 462.
Yeah, it's going gangbusters.
I'm glad I still got my 50 shares. I'm glad I'm still holding on to my 50 shares. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're in the stocks, if you're into accumulating that generational wealth, hit me and Larry up. Hit me up on my Instagram. Me and Larry, we try to squad up weekly to make a plan about options, swing trading. I'm dragging Larry to the finish line, even though he has come kicking and screaming. As soon as he start counting them duckies in his bank account, he'll know what the deal is. And so we're going to move on, Larry. And Larry, you get the next number. What number you want? 1 through 7, and number 6 has already been used.
Let's go with number 4.
Okay.
Actually, first, before I say that, how many months is Baby L now?
4 months.
Yep, number 4 it is. That's what I thought.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is getting into Marvel territory. This is one of 2 Marvel topics we're covering today. And the specific topic is as simple as this. Larry, I'm going to ask you and I'm going to ask everybody that's watching. Was this not in the era where you can watch trailers? The question I have for you guys, was this not the greatest trailer you have ever seen for a movie? And let's relive this trailer because it damn sure was for me.
There was an idea to bring together a group of remarkable people.
To see if we could become something more.
So when they needed us, we could fight the battles
that they never could.
In time, you will know what it's like to lose. To feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail all the same.
And that's all I'm going to give y'all before YouTube be trying to black us out. But Larry, can you remember what you was feeling when that trailer came out? And you've seen hundreds of movie trailers. I have too. You've seen them in the Super Bowls. Was that not the best trailer you've ever seen?
That was pretty great, man. I have to admit, I was fired up. I was ready for it to happen. So I don't know if it was the greatest, though. It was close, but I have to tell you, as far as it was a great trailer. But I think when I saw the trailer for the first trailer for Black Panther, I was so geeked up. I was just completely. Yeah, man. I had the emotional reaction I had when I saw the trailer for Black Panther. Man, I was on fire. I was ready for that thing to come out. So
yeah, and you know, I could have easily had put that one in here and made a top 3 list and say that Disney and Marvel owns 2 of the 3 greatest trailers ever made. For me,
yeah,
definitely my top 2 trailers, definitely,
yeah,
is Avengers and Black Panther. And
yeah.
there have been some great ones out there. But when you talk about a trailer being done correctly, you want a trailer that gives you a trailer that gives you enough of the story without giving you the story, and then you want to see what are the finer plot points of the movie, and they all condense it into 2 minutes. And both of those trailers was just as perfectly done as possible. So for me, Larry, Infinity War, Black Panther were the 2 best trailers I've ever seen. They done both of them completely right. They gave me enough without giving me too much. Soundtrack, everything had me amped. And if I could have played this one all the way until that scene when Captain America just pops out from the dark, oh my God, I lost it then. When he caught that spear that was thrown at him, and he had the beard at that. I was like, what the man? Whoo!
Oh man.
It was fire, man. It was fire. So we got Buzz in the building says he agreed with Larry.
Trailer for 300. Woo,
oh,
that was that one too.
Yeah, man. But Buzz, you took the word. I've got that in my top 5 too. And 300 was bananas. Man. And it was a great movie too.
This is Florida.
So yeah, man, definitely. We'll put that one in our top 3 for sure, along with Black Panther, along with 300. Moving right along, Muchella, even though I don't want to let you pick a number because all you want to do is throw up locks and keys. Okay? That's all you want to do. Muchella, please pick the next number 1 through 7, and we've already used 4 and 6.
I feel like Muchella should go with number 7 because it's sort of like a lucky number, the way Zeke was when he got lucky with Professor Megan.
Oh my God!
Even though, I'm just saying.
Here we go, man. Look, why y'all? Okay, y'all gonna get it. y'all ain't gonna learn until Zeke break that leg and somebody shoot him in the head and he's gone. That's y'all waiting on. That's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen.
Jack Farr said, "How they gonna do Black Panther without Chadwick? Won't be the same." I'll tell you what they're gonna do, Jack. This is what they're gonna do. The writers are gonna sit down. Ryan Coogler and them are gonna sit down. They're gonna realize that Killmonger is the rightful and true ruler of Wakanda, and they're gonna bring back the righteous and proper ruler, the true Black Panther, Killmonger, to take his place.
Jack,
that's what it's gonna be.
If you haven't watched my live stream, this is all Larry's looking for. Let me give him this, and then he'll be done bothering us.
Yeah, go ahead and burn all that.
My king, we cannot do that. It is our tradition.
When I tell you to do something, I mean that shit. Burn it all!
Yep. The rightful and true ruler of Wakanda.
Anyway,
I need to get a shirt that says, "Hey, Auntie."
Moving right along. Muchella picked number 7, ladies and gentlemen. And Larry, I like to do some research on this channel for certain topics, and this is for all my Trumpineers out there.
Oh, Lord.
This particular subject is something that you don't see in the history books. It's something that you don't hear about often that took place right here in the state I live in called North Carolina. Because pop culture has made you guys familiar with Black Wall Street and the massacre in Tulsa, Larry, believe it or not, North Carolina had a city that was being taken over by former slaves who
Mm.
learned how to read, how to run government, and that was Wilmington, North Carolina. And in 1898, we had a massacre here too. And I have to keep playing these because some folks don't understand why black folks get mad when you see people caking up with folks like Trump, who is trying to recreate race wars, division, and just act like everything that black people have been through is nothing. And he's saturating people's mind to the point where some folks is really believing this stuff. So this right here is going to give you guys a little bit of the history about Black North Carolina, which was Wilmington, NC, and what happened with our race riot.
During the last decade of the 19th century, African Americans were a vibrant part of Wilmington's culture. African Americans had established themselves not only as a vital part of economic life, but soon to be part of the political arena. The election of 1894 saw a well-established political campaign designed by populists and Republicans. Populist Marion Butler and Republican Daniel Russell created the Fusion Coalition, and by the 1894 election, Fusion candidates defeated Democrats statewide and gained control of the General Assembly. Local elections also saw Democrats defeated and replaced with Fusion candidates and even black community leaders. The mid-1890s political atmosphere began to change in North Carolina with the election of Governor Daniel Russell, the first Republican governor in North Carolina since Reconstruction. The state legislature of 1897 made large changes to Wilmington City Charter. Local white leaders were dissatisfied and angry with the changes. During this time, Wilmington's black businesses grew at a faster pace than any other North Carolina city. In 1897, over 1,000 African Americans owned some sort of property in Wilmington. The city's African American population was enriched by schools, wealth, and inherited status. Months before the election of 1898, the city of Wilmington still had a black population that was a majority. Leading up to the election, the city was occupied by the Democratic Party's white supremacist movement. Democrats were certain that an intimidation campaign filled with white supremacist propaganda would tear apart the fragile connection between whites and blacks in the Fusion Coalition. The White Government League, led by Alfred Waddell, introduced a powerful line of intimidation to white Republicans and African Americans. The Red Shirt Brigade, established by Furnifold Simmons, had spread throughout eastern North Carolina, and its strongest contingency was in New Hanover County. In the fall of 1898, the Red Shirts held racist rallies, disrupted African American church services, and walked the streets of Wilmington with weapons. Along with the White Government League, they distributed flyers and political cartoons depicting blacks as corrupt and detrimental to white society. Facing hatred and intimidation, African Americans still turned out in large numbers on Election Day. However, the extremely large volume of Democrats outnumbered the Republicans and populists. Although there were reports of ballot box stuffing by white supremacists, overall, Election Day was peaceful with little unrest. Motivated by their victory, on November 9th, 25 white men met at the courthouse. They listed their demands on the African American community and presented the white man's Declaration of Independence. They demanded the immediate removal of Alex Manley and his newspaper, The Daily Record, from the city. Additional resolutions called for the resignation of the mayor and the chief of police. On the evening of November 9th, the Committee of Colored Citizens was called to hear the demands of the white supremacists. In attendance was Alfred Waddell and his committee of 25. The Committee of Colored Citizens drafted a humble response and attempted to separate the black community from Manley and his newspaper. Preceding the riot on November 10th, Alfred Waddell scheduled a meeting at the Light Infantry Armory to receive the response from the Committee of Colored Citizens. 500 additional white men were also present. The response never came, and Waddell used the fury of the crowd to his advantage. He led the angry mob to Manley's newspaper on 3rd Street. During the procession, the crowd grew to almost 2,000 people. Upon reaching the newspaper office, the crowd destroyed the printing press and burned the building. The violence spread throughout the city. African Americans gathered weapons to defend themselves as whites patrolled the streets searching for blacks to carry out Waddell's claim to choke the Cape Fear River with Negro carcasses. At around 11 a.m., near the intersection of 4th and Harnett Streets, in the mostly black community of Brooklyn, a gun battle broke out. When it was over, several African American men lay dead or wounded. This moving gun battle continued to Manhattan Park, a gathering place deep in the black community, where bullets destroyed the surrounding fence and damaged many homes and buildings. During the violence and gunfire, Waddell and other white leaders demanded the resignations of the mayor and board of aldermen. Waddell was elected mayor by a new board of aldermen who had been appointed by a small group of Democratic leaders that afternoon. Within hours of Waddell assuming power, all black employees were fired or replaced.
Larry, I'm just about sure you've got one of these that's probably happened everywhere in every state in the South. But this is what I want to ask you. If I was someone who's a Trump-loving supporter right now, I can tell you what they would say to you. They would say to you, Larry, how does that happening have anything to do with what's going on today? And why are you guys Democrats if Democrats was the party of white supremacy back then? I give the floor to you because when I need to give history from my perspective, I can trust you with it. So that's why I play devil's advocate when I ask these questions, because Larry, there are legitimate people out there saying these questions I just asked upon you, and we have to be the ones to break it down for them. So again, how does that happened in 1898 affect African Americans now, and why are y'all supporting the Democratic Party?
Yeah, it's one of those things where you have, I think a lot of the reason why people ask those silly questions, either because they don't know, because they're completely ignorant, because in large part, it really feels like, and there's people that have complained about this for the last several decades, that there's been a deliberate dumbing down of Americans in this, and in this country, and that they've cut out a lot of history classes, they've cut out civics classes, they've cut out, just a lot of the basic American history and education that's needed so that people can understand how this country functions and the history of this country. And
well, Larry, don't you feel like it's intentional? Because so much of the history of this country and how this country came together is a fallacy of what they teach you today. They teach you today, love thy neighbor, honor the next man, all that shit. But when you really break down how this country started, you stole it from one group. You stole it from two groups of people. The queen who sent you here to forage the land, bring back the booty to her. Then when you got here, you took it from the natives that was already here. And then when you took it from them, you decided to bring in slaves to do the dirty work. Is that not some of the reason why they want to hide this from people?
I mean, I think that's some of the reason, but a lot of it is just they want to go back to the way things were. And one of the easiest way, they always say, if you know your history, you're less likely to repeat it. Well, if you want to go back to a way things used to be, if you want to go back in time, and the best way to do that is to make people ignorant of their history. And so if you make people ignorant of their own history, then they don't see the possibilities. They don't see the possibility of the horror that will come about if we go back to those types of ways. And so, but it's easy to trick people to say, oh no, this is where we should go back to. Everything was better when we were back then. And if all you're seeing is pictures of people in these little suburban towns smiling with the wives with their poodle skirts on and their, and their high heels with fluffy, feathers on them, serving their man drinks after he gets home from work. If you see all that, you think, oh, this is wonderful. This is Americana. This is beautiful. Well, what they don't tell you is all the horrible stuff that goes along with that, because they like to keep people ignorant. They don't like to tell you about all the other people that were excluded from the workforce. Yeah, all these white men, they were able to have great jobs. They were able to work, manual labor jobs and make a good living and buy a house and send their kids to school and buy houses for each other, for their family members, because there was not a lot of competition in the workforce because they locked Black people out. They locked Hispanic people out. Women were almost entirely excluded from the workforce unless they were nurses or teachers. I mean, there was a lot of horrible stuff going on. When you look back in the day, when you go back even further to when they had these race riots and stuff, this is not the only one. I mean, there's lots of them. There was one of them in a town, I forgot where it was, but there was really just a straight up coup because there were Black leaders and they basically went in there and killed them and the white people took over the town. It's just, and as far as the Republican Democrat thing, this is part of that whole thing where people are dumbed down intentionally and made ignorant because people think of Democrats and Republicans that say that. And that's why I say either they're just ignorant or they know better, but they're trying to assume you're ignorant and ask you the question, is that there was a platform switch and where the Democrats that we know today moved over, all that platform moved from the Republicans to the Democrats. And if you don't know, if you've never heard the term, back in the day, all those racist Democrats, all those racists were Democrats and they called them Dixiecrats. Well, at some point when they flip-flopped the platforms, the Democrats, the platform for the Republicans went to the Democrats, which was a more liberal platform, and the more evil, racist, conservative platform, they went over to the Republicans. And that's where it's been for the last 50, 60, 70 years, however, since like since back and I believe it was sometime in the 60s when that platform flip happened. And so, the idea that, oh, well, this person was a Republican, this person was a Democrat, it doesn't matter the name that's attached to the party. And there was a platform switch at some point. So, I mean, that's just, what are you going to say? Oh, the New York team won why aren't you a fan of the New York baseball team? They're winning World Series. No, the Los Angeles Dodgers won it. But it's still the Dodgers, but they moved to LA. It doesn't mean that New York still gets to claim their victory. It's just they flop cities. They switch cities, It's just
right.
It's just people say that stuff and it's silly. And this is one of the reasons why people get so upset with when they call college professors that teach history and teach ethics and teach African American, Chicano studies, women's studies, all that. Why they get mad at them and they rail against them is because you have these kids that have been deliberately kept ignorant and they're able to that way hold on to all these racist beliefs and everything, and then they go to college. Then they go to university and they have to sit down and learn about the true American history. And they're shocked. They're horrified. They're disturbed by their own history, what their own people did. And then now they're conflicted because now they came into this. They came into college with all these ideas of they're superior, that white people are the best, and all this. And then they realize, holy crap, we're monsters. Holy crap, these Black people and these Hispanic people and these women and all these, they're just as good, if not better in a lot of ways than us. And now I'm learning this. Now I'm upset and I'm confused. And some people accept it and they really push back on what they've learned in the past. Some people learn it and they get upset and they get angry and then they become these really entrenched, sort of ultra conservatives because they just can't accept the truth. It's one of those things where it's just like once you learn history, real history, you can't easily be tricked like other people can. But that's one of the important things. You need to be able to push yourself out there and be willing to learn. Because when you and not just be willing to learn, part of it is you, and this is another thing I think that they've done intentionally, they've taken critical thinking out of the schools. When I was in school, we had critical thinking classes. They taught you how to think. They taught you how not to be fooled, how to think through problems, how to put A next to B, next to C, so that you can come up with D. And they don't do that much anymore, So now you have kids that come up and they don't know how to think. They don't know how to think through regular everyday problems. So if someone comes to you and says, COVID's not real, don't wear a mask, you can't see it. Who would you know that had COVID? What have you seen sick people in the hospital? And they send these people that can't think. They sit up there and say, well, no, I actually haven't seen anybody in the hospital sick. I don't know if there's really, if this is real. No, I actually, when I breathe, I don't see COVID. I don't see the COVID virus spewing out in front of me. So no, maybe these people are right. no one in my family that I know of is sick. I think they're right. They must be telling a lie. This is some liberal conspiracy. That's why because they can't think through the problem to think no one could see a virus. Doesn't matter if it's the flu virus, doesn't matter if it's COVID, doesn't matter if it's HIV, doesn't matter what, no matter, it doesn't matter if it's the common cold, you can't see viruses. They can't think that far ahead. They don't think to themselves, oh, you're not seeing sick people in a COVID ward because you're not visiting a COVID ward. You're not allowed to go to a COVID ward unless you have COVID or you're a doctor or a nurse. It's
now, Larry, this is where I have issues with people like that. Because it just shows you their hypocrisy. It just shows you they believe what they want to believe. Those same people you were talking about that don't believe in COVID because they can't see it, they believe in God, and you can't see him.
No, I'm not. Okay, let me stop myself there because I don't want to question someone's faith.
But you are willing to question someone's intelligence, and to me, it's all one and the same. They're all on the same level to me. Whether it's your faith, it's your intelligence. Intelligence should tell you that there's a COVID virus, Larry. That's what I'm saying. It should tell you that we have issues with a virus that is killing people, and because you want to see the world a certain way, because you're being made to be uncomfortable, just like those white dudes that went into Wilmington was made to be uncomfortable because black people was prospering. You want to tear that down because you want your own beliefs put in place.
Yeah, and I want to push back a little bit. I don't want to say I'm questioning their intelligence because that implies that they're dumb. I don't think these people in a lot of ways are dumb. I think they are ignorant, and sometimes they are willfully ignorant, and that's unfortunate. But I think they choose, like you said, they don't want to learn. They don't want to understand it. So they're willfully remaining ignorant. Some people are just flat out ignorant. They've been spewed so much crap and taught so many lies that they just can't believe. There's been so many people out there that have been taught that black people are nothing but criminals and sexual deviants and everything else, that they're subhuman, that they can't learn. And then all of a sudden they learn this history where black people had entire cities in this country that were thriving, that the entire state in some of these instances were dependent on the economies of these black areas, these black cities. And when they destroyed them, the economies of those states just plummeted. And so they weren't taught that. And so they've been taught all the other negative stuff. So when they learn this history, their first reaction is, this is BS, this is crap. And then when they see the documentation, when they see the photos, when they learn what really happened, then all of a sudden they're forced at that point to make a decision. Are you going to accept the truth and you're going to say, holy crap, this is wrong, and I've been taught some hogwash? Or they're going to become more entrenched in their own false beliefs because it's comfortable to them. It's safe because they're already there. They don't have to go and believe anything else. They don't have to put away the stuff that they were taught because it's uncomfortable to put away stuff that was taught to you incorrectly. Because now, if your parents taught it to you, now you have to worry about, can I trust other things that my parents say? If your pastor taught it to you, now you have to question, can I trust what my pastor says? If your teachers taught it to you, you have to ask yourself, can I trust what my teachers say? It causes you to have trust issues when you learn how much you've been lied to by your family, your teachers, your pastors, your friends, your family. And so, yeah, for a lot of people, that's scary and it's challenging. And most people are too cowardly to actually go ahead and use that knowledge to move forward with their own thinking. So they accept what they've been told. They accept the propaganda that they've been fed. And
yeah. Well, Larry, put a pin in it. Put a pin in it. We're going to move on. But ladies and gentlemen, we have decided, me and Larry on this channel.
Let me just hold on before you go on. Let me just say one thing. I just wanted to address what Lamont said. I mean, what Buzz said. He said, Lamont, Larry, you can't fix stupid, and I have to push back on that. Buzz, it's not stupidity. It's not that the people are stupid and they can't learn. It is people that are intellectually lazy. There are people that are intellectually scared.
I got to push back on you on that one. If you know that knowledge is out here and you choose not to seek it, that's stupidity. That's a lack of intelligence. If I know I need to learn how to fish to survive, and I say, no, I have an intelligence problem. I have a logic problem. There's no way for you to try to be nice about it or PC about it. It's stupid. If I have to get a haircut, I know I got to use a razor. And I decide, no, I'm not going to use a razor. I'm just not going to do anything about it, but I need a haircut. That's a choice you make, and that's stupidity, period. It don't matter how you try to dress it up to be nice about it. That's an intelligence problem. Intelligence is the thought process to make you do better, to escalate your knowledge. That's intelligence. And when you decide not to do it,
no, that's not entirely true because intelligence is one's ability to learn and understand. And
you can make a choice to learn and understand.
Yeah, you can make bad choices.
You can make a choice to be intelligent. And you can make a choice to be stupid.
You can be intelligent and still willingly make bad choices. We see it every day. We see people who are
I'm not debating that. I'm not debating that. You can do that. But you can also make the choice not to get the knowledge you need to make yourself intelligent. And that's stupid. That's being stupid.
See, I guess that's where I think that's where we're diverging here, because I think that people can be intelligent and still do stupid things and make stupid decisions. I don't think that intelligence is something that to me, I believe is inherent. You have it or you don't. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't
that's
matter.
Where we disagree. That's totally where we disagree.
Here's the thing. You will have people that will go to school, or they'll go online, or they'll do whatever. They'll work with other people. And some people have to work really, really hard and study a long time to gain a certain understanding of things that other people can just get just by looking at a book once or watching someone do something once. You have people who have an extraordinarily high level of musical intelligence. They can watch somebody play a guitar, they can watch someone play a song once, and they can say, "Oh, let me try that," and they'll just get it because they have
Larry, that ain't necessarily intelligence. That could be a good memory. It don't just got to be that could be a good memory. Hell, you ain't got to be.
That's not necessarily.
You can have a good memory. I mean, people. Hell, I'm not the most intelligent person, but I have a degree in the medical field. And it's because I studied, I chose to do the part that I had to do to retain the information. I made a choice to do that.
Right. So you just proved my argument. It's not about intelligence in that sense. It's hard work. There's a difference between people willing to work hard and people who are naturally intelligent.
My intelligence was I knew I needed XYZ sitting over here, and I had to make the intelligent choice to take this pathway to get to XYZ. That's intelligent.
You made a good choice. You made a good choice.
I made an intelligent choice.
A good work ethic.
An intelligent choice is what I made. And people out here are not wanting to make an intelligent choice, but we got to move on.
All right.
Buzz, because you got this thing going, you get the next number. Teresa, she just got in the building, and I guess we're going to give her a number 2, even though she only looking for one number that ain't up here. Let's see here.
Louisiana boy James said Monet is a bad woman.
She is a bad woman.
Bad or bad as in good? Which one?
No, bad as in she's bad. She's trouble. She's hardcore trouble.
Gotcha.
Okay, well, while Buzz is making up his mind, DeAndre Lucas is picking number 2. So we're going to run with that one. And number 2, ladies and gentlemen.
No,
Larry, you're going to like it. You're going to like it because we've had this debate several times. Ladies and gentlemen, this one is about because of coronavirus and movie theaters having to be shut down. All right. There is a movie that's supposed to come out in late December, early January called Wonder Woman.
Oh, and it's supposed to go to HBO Max, I heard.
Oh, we'll debate that now, but let me refresh you guys' memory of what it's supposed to look like. So now the debate comes down to this. As Larry said, he alluded to this earlier before we watched the trailer. The debate is raging whether or not this thing should come straight to streaming in January, or should they push it back to summer, July. Now, me and Larry's in the tank. why keep kicking it back? Drop it on streaming, maybe add a little bit of a price, because the numbers have come out from Disney. If anybody who's following stocks has been noticing, Disney stock has been taking off like Elon's rocket that went to the ISIS last night.
Yeah.
Because they started getting the numbers in from Mulan, and now the numbers wasn't as high as they wanted on that streaming service, but they had good numbers. So now Disney is eluding that they're going to be doing more of these movies that were supposed to come out at the end of this year on streaming. So I bring up Wonder Woman to say to you, Larry, why not just make the choice to drop it on HBO Max, maybe slap on $20 instead of trying to kick it back to 2020? Why not just go ahead and do that?
I agree. I think they should just go ahead and drop it. I mean, it looks like if they did, I think they would get a lot of new subscribers. I think they should do something where they simply say, hey, you know, pay for whatever it is, $20 for the movie, get a free month or two of HBO Max. And it's sort of a double whammy, especially if they say pay for the movie, you get 2 months free of HBO Max. That way, you know, you get new signups and you get people get to see the movie. They'll stay in while they'll stay the extra month to watch other stuff, and then hopefully you have them hooked. So
right.
Every time I see the trailers for this, I keep kicking myself for not going down there and watching the filming of this. But you know, I was busy at the time. So
hey man, you can't be going. You got things to do, man. You can't be down there messing around with Gal Gadot all day long. You got things to do. You're a busy brother. You know, you can't be down there fooling around with her all day long. And I'm right with you, Larry.
I went to Georgetown one day and we just missed her apparently. So
oh, okay. Well, I mean, hey, you know, she is what she is, and ladies and gentlemen, yes, you know,
I'll see her when she comes over next week.
For as much as
sorry, I let that out the bag.
Hey man, you got me and 90 other people up here listening. And if your wife was to ever jump on the camera or jump up here because I'm married, I can't lie. So you're gonna have to watch what you say, bro, because I can't take no bullets. Hey, no. But ladies and gentlemen,
she knows I'm not even leaving the house, man. I left the house in like 3-4 days. I don't even know it may be longer than that. She knows I'm not going anywhere.
That means that you ain't that don't mean that you won't let somebody in the house.
Oh, I'm surely not letting anybody in the house. Hell to the no. I mean, like, unless you willing, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna create a little bubble over in this area. You can strip down naked. I'm gonna spray you with disinfectant and then leave you over there for 2 weeks.
Oh,
and then you can come in.
Good
you
Lord.
Know.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, me and Larry definitely are in agreement. If you claim that you're having COVID fatigue, people cracking up, and you want people to be able to enjoy things at home, just release the damn movie on the stream service, man. Give people something to be excited about. Upcharge it, and all the good reasons Larry said. So now
I'll tell you what I really want them to do, man. I really want them to do a thing like they did with the AMC A-List Plus thing where you would pay $20 a month and you were able to go to the theater and see 3 movies a week. I want them to do something like that, except I want them to have like a service that you pay like $20 a month and it's all first run movies and you get to see the first run movies. They don't stay. It'll be like the theaters. They're only going to be there for a short window. Maybe because like I read today that Cinemark and some other theater worked out a deal with Universal and someone else where they have a shortened theatrical window. Just do something like that where you have like an AMC or a Regal or Cinemark, something app where you can go, you pay $20 a month and you watch the movies, you stream the movies from their app. They're only available there for like, I don't know, 15 days or something like that, a very short window. And then they pull them back. And when they pull them back, maybe they're held back again for 2 or 3 months until they finally go to streaming. I mean, I would do that.
Larry, movie companies the movie theaters would fight them tooth and nail to never let that happen anytime soon. Never.
No, let the movie companies do it. Let the AMCs and Regals be the ones that actually do it.
They'll never do that because the people who own those private movie theaters are going to complain about their revenue predominantly is not made on the sale of the movie ticket. It's made
Right.
on when they get you in the theater, and then they sell you stale 2-year-old popcorn for $15.99, and then tell you,
the indie theaters would be toast. But let's be
yeah,
real, there's not going to be any indie theaters left when we can go back to the theaters, because people won't wear masks, people won't
Nope.
stay home, and so they're shutting down cities after cities after cities. There's more and more cities are getting shut down. They're going to continue to shut them down. I mean, in all seriousness, we're going to have entire state shutdowns, I think, probably by the end of next week or so, because they're going to have to. It's gotten to the point where hospital capacities are at over 100%, where they're putting people in temporary facilities outdoors. They're building medical tents and all that stuff. So I can tell you right now, I don't want to be in a medical tent in North Dakota in the middle of winter.
Me neither, but Larry, I'm telling you right now, and then we're going to move on to Buzz number, which is number 5. As much as they are shutting places down because it's going crazy, I just read today where there was a mayor who decided to shut his city down because the governor of Texas wouldn't do it. Larry, do you believe they took that to the state Supreme Court, and the state Supreme Court said it's unconstitutional for them to shut down the city because of coronavirus? And you, Larry, I'm telling you right now, you're only going to see more of that when Trump is out of office. You're in red places where it's going up the worst. You're only going to see more of that stupidity happening when people are trying to get control of this virus, which is the number one issue affecting the economy. And you're going to be seeing these, I don't know, I don't want to disrespect them, but you're going to be seeing these rinky-dink ass judges ruling on something that they claim is unconstitutional, but it is constitutional for people to run around here with a license to not only make someone sick, but possibly kill people. That's constitutional, is what you're ruling. But I'm going to move on.
I'll tell you. All right.
Yeah, I'm going to move on. Buzz, you're not going to like your number, because your number is the foolishness of this video.
Buzz always seems to get the crazy one, man.
Yeah, Buzz's number is power, ladies and gentlemen. We are to the power section of this video, and I'm going to play a short clip, and it will not involve Professor Carey. Thank you very much. But we are going to talk about who is involved in this clip. Take a quick look.
The app is blowing up.
There's something that you're hiding. I thought we had a deal, Sax.
You can't trust anybody.
Everything that you've been up to.
You know everything.
This ain't no negotiation. Do we have an understanding?
So, Larry.
It's coming up soon, man. It's coming up soon.
Man. We've got a couple of people we need to identify, Larry. So let's start the identification process. Larry, who's in that mask?
I don't know, some fake Bane?
Come on, man. Come on, man. Lord have mercy.
That's a pretty wicked looking mask, though. I'll say that.
Well, in the trailer, you saw whoever this person was looked like he was running behind Kane. And so if you're going to go in it with that perspective, I would say we know it's not Drew. Whoever's in that mask appears to be either light skinned or white. So I would make
some brownness in there. I think it's one of those
GTG.
I think it's one of those GCG dudes. What is that? A sarcophagus next to him?
Man, I have no idea, but I think definitely this cat is with GTG.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. That dude looks like a old Nio or something with,
Hey, whatever he doing, he's spraying, ain't he? Like, that brother is spraying.
A guy or a girl? He looks like he's got a girl's jacket on.
Man, come on, man. That's a dude, man, looking like Ziggy Marley. That's a guy, man. God.
You sure that's not Snoop from The Wire?
No, man. No.
All right.
No. And
I'm just saying.
No. So my guess is that's GTG. And Larry, we got one more for you. Who is that holding down Tariq wearing all the white?
Yeah, I think that's probably what's his name's husband. He's about to take Tariq's booty. I think that's what's about to happen there.
What?
I think Tariq underestimated him, and he tried to come at him about the app, and dude just put him down there and said, "I'll take it if I want it. You're gonna do what I tell you."
Man, no way. That is not Simon Stearns' husband.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah, that's
stop.
Simon Stearns, dude. That's what it is right
Stop
there.
Stop it.
Yeah.
That is probably Monet, possibly.
I don't know. How's Monet gonna get him down there unless somebody put him down there and then she jumped on him?
Kane put him down there, then she jumped on him. That's how she did GTG.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
that's Tommy. That's not Tommy. If Tommy comes back to Tariq, Tommy's coming back with love in his heart. Because if Tommy was coming back with anything else, you wouldn't see Tommy coming.
That's probably true. Now I think he might want to, slap Tariq around, hold him off a building or something like that again.
Yeah.
But he's not going to come back and kill Tariq or Tasha. No way. No way.
And he only does Tariq like that, I think, because he likes Tariq. I think he sees a lot of James in his dad and in him. He's like, because Tommy wasn't the biggest fan of James St. Patrick. He was a big fan of Ghost, but I think he sees a lot of Ghost in Tariq, and I think he likes that. So I think if Tommy comes back, if we see Tommy with Tariq, it's gonna be all love. It's just gonna be him. It may be some tough love, but it's gonna be all love.
Yeah, and Larry? Is it still even a debate whether or not Tommy is going to pop his head in this season?
No, we'll see him. He's gonna come in. It's gonna be I'm sure we'll see him like on the last 2 episodes, and they don't want to overshadow the series with Tommy, so they'll bring him in the last 2 episodes just so that we can say, hey, here he is, and then the last episode will lead into his show. I'm almost certain that's how it's going to go down.
I feel like that would be a great way to do it too. So we're going to move on, ladies and gentlemen. Nita the Diva has decided to pick number 1, and number 1 is our last Marvel story. Some people have already talked about it a little bit, Larry, but I'm going to go ahead and show it to you again to lead into our discussion.
Wakanda forever!
Ladies and gentlemen, that one still hurts me to this day because he was such a good brother, Chadwick Boseman. This is what Marvel had to say about having Chadwick Boseman's image in Black Panther 2. Chadwick Boseman will not appear digitally in Black Panther 2, Marvel execs say. There's only one Chadwick, and he's not with us.
Yeah, that's probably a good decision, I think.
Why, Larry? I'm not debating that, but if you knew Chadwick and you saw his interviews and him talked about how he went and met so many people around the world that didn't even know he had played iconic characters such as Jackie Robinson, such as Thurgood Marshall, such as James Brown, but they knew him from Black Panther. And he said that didn't bother him because it ingratiated him with more younger viewers, and those younger viewers start going and watching his other content. So don't you kind of think if that's the way he feels about, he was happy with Black Panther being his iconic role, do you think he would be okay with having his image in the last Black Panther that we'll probably see his face in?
Nah, I think when you look at an actor that's that great, I mean, those dudes are usually serious perfectionists. It's like Denzel. That dude takes his craft so seriously. I can't imagine that he would be okay with them trying to create some digital reproduction of not just his likeness, but of his acting. And so, yeah, I'm pretty sure they'd be like, nah, I'm good, man. Just go ahead and move on. You know?
Teresa made a great point that she's happy they're not going to try to take advantage of the money grab by having his face in it. I read somewhere a long time ago, not too long after he died, that Marvel kind of had already been planning because they knew what was going on with his health. And they had already kind of been planning to discuss his death on screen, but not have him on the screen at all. They was just going to talk about something that happened to him. And you could even, if you really want to give him a good death, you could have it have something to do with the snap. you could somehow another wiggle that into it and go on with the next movie. And I'm with you. Let that man rest in peace. Again, of all the things that have happened in 2020, one of the things that still sticks in my craw, burns me up, is this man dying. Because the more you look back on his career and the things he was doing off the screen, dude was a real life hero. There was 2 movies where the female lead actresses was not going to get paid a lot, and he cut his pay to make sure they got paid. I mean, you can't beat that. And so kudos to Marvel, big time move. And Larry, that brings us to our last.
I do have to say though, man, quick that
it better not be nothing about Killmonger.
I'm just saying that even though we're not going to get Chadwick Boseman back, it's nice to know that we still have another Black Panther that's going to be able to come there, whether it's going to be Shuri or if it's going to be the true and rightful ruler of Wakanda being Killmonger. We know we're going to get another Black Panther. So even though he's not there, even though we're not going to get Chadwick as T'Challa, it's nice to know that we're still going to get another Black Panther.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's only one Black Panther, and here he is again. Take a look at this real king all over again. It's not Killmonger. Damn, brother, no, brother, no, just no. Last subject we got, ladies and gentlemen. Last one. This is it. Larry, how do you feel? Man, what in the world? Oh, Larry's a fan of the United States flag, ladies and gentlemen.
What happened?
What happened? You saw what happened. You just showed your patriotism, and we're grateful for your patriotism. See, y'all be talking about Democrats ain't patriotic. That man just put up a flag. He's patriot. Oh, my Lord. Here we go.
The true and rightful ruler of Wakanda.
Nobody believes that. Last subject, ladies and gentlemen, and Larry, I'm gonna give this one. I'm gonna ask you the question first before we dive into what it is.
All right.
How do you feel about big budget Black movies that were successful in the theater eventually being turned into miniseries or TV series? How do you feel about that?
It depends on, I don't think that it being Black has anything to do with any of it. I think the fact of the matter is, as simply as if it is a good transition, then sometimes I like to see it. Sometimes I don't, but most of the time, if it's a good transition, I don't mind seeing it. And here's an example of one I can think of that I wasn't sure about when they decided to do it, but when they did it, I really enjoyed it, even though it was a short-lived project, and that is Blade. When they took Blade from the big screen to the little screen, and they had what's his name, Sticky Fingers playing it, I thought it was fantastic. I wasn't sure. I was like, I don't know, this dude could even act. He's a rapper that was like, just I don't know if he. But he did a fantastic job, and I understand why they canceled it. I guess it just didn't get the ratings or whatnot, or maybe it was too expensive. I don't know, but. So it just depends on what the project is and how they do it. I don't want to see people start moving stuff over from the big screen to the little screen just because it found success in the movies, and now they think, oh, well, if it's a successful movie, it'd be a successful TV show. That's not necessarily the case. Some things are great in an hour and 45 minutes or 2 hours. They're not necessarily great over, 10, 12, 20 episodes. So,
well, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we got right here. Terry McMillan announces Waiting to Exhale will be returning as a TV series. Now, before
we not done with that garbage yet? What has it been, like 20 years? We should be done with that garbage.
Larry, why I gotta be garbage? This was an iconic Black movie. It was iconic.
You know what's iconic about it is how ridiculous that story was and comical. They made this big story about, oh, we're going over the seas to go. We could do it too. We can go get young men too. Us women, we don't have to worry about we can go get these young men and pull these young men and bring them back she didn't do anything but get hustled by a young gay dude. That's all it was.
Who?
She
Who
got hustled by a young gay dude who played her out, got over here, got some money, got his U.S. citizenship, and then left her ass and brought his lover over. That's all that happened.
Well, what about this one?
What about it?
Well, that's Wesley Snipes. He was in the movie.
And?
He did a good job.
If they want to take a movie, if they want to take a movie and turn it into a series, do Dolomite.
Yeah. Well,
and then I'll see Wesley in that one. Wesley's character in Dolomite was way better, infinitely better.
I'm gonna say, ladies and gentlemen, I'll give it a chance because that was another.
I hated that movie. It was garbage.
Another movie that I liked in the theater, and then they decided we're gonna make a TV series, and I rolled my eyes, I snared, and guess what, ladies and gentlemen, it turned out to be a good show. Soul Food turned out to be a great TV series, and it was based on the movie, and that turned out pretty well. Having said that, with the success of that one, Larry, why is it that Waiting to Exhale can't be a good TV series? Is it just because you just didn't like the movie?
Yeah, I didn't like the movie. I didn't like the message, all that. I thought it was just, I didn't like it.
Okay.
Didn't like it. I thought it sent a horrible message out to women. I think that the message that is sent out to women is the same message that women have been fussing about men doing for the longest, talking about basically leaving their spouse, whether because of whatever reason it is, and then going overseas and pulling some young person and getting married and blah, blah, blah. It's the same thing that women have complained about for God knows how long, and then they want to show it on the female side, and all of a sudden it's this big celebration of female liberation and all that crap. I was like, it's nothing more than the same crap that women complain about that men do. It's garbage. I don't think it's cool. I don't think it's cool when men go marry some friggin', when some 60-year-old man or 50-year-old man goes and marries a 20-year-old, just because she's young and hot, and then he ends up getting played and loses all his money or whatever. And I don't think it's cool when women do it. So no, I'm not celebrating that garbage. Not doing it.
Well, if it comes on, I'm here for it. And if it's good, I'll watch it. Any closing remarks, Larry?
I'll tell you, if they want to make a good black TV show with black folks in there, bring back Luke Cage. Do that.
Oh, yeah. Luke Cage was good.
Bring back Luke Cage.
That was good.
Hell, throw Angela Bassett in there. Make Angela Bassett a villain. She would be fantastic.
Yeah, she's a great actress. We'll see. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the lightning fast hour. I know that was the fastest hour of your life. Some of the best compelling topics and conversations you're going to find on anybody's channel. Be sure that when me and Larry drop our individual videos, you guys, please, if you don't want to watch them in their entirety, like them and share them so that we can continue to grow our message. We definitely want this thing to keep growing because we keep it real over here. And we bring you guys topics that a lot of people don't want to cover because they're not worried it's going to give them any viewership.
Somebody was saying, Mucella was saying it was Stella's Got Her Groove Back that I'm talking about. And you were talking about Waiting to Exhale. But I think the photos you were showing were from how Stella Got Her Groove Back.
No, and I didn't even say nothing to you. I just let you ramble because I'm just
anyways.
Like, what is this dude talking about?
I thought you were talking about, because I think the photos that you showed were actually from how Stella Got Her Groove Back.
No, man. Angela Bassett setting the car on fire. Angela Bassett in the picture with Whitney Houston, Layla Rashawn. All those people are in Waiting to Exhale, not Stella Got Her Groove.
Okay, then maybe I have to take my whole rant back because I was thinking how Stella Got Her Groove Back. So I'm trying to think Waiting to Exhale. And to be honest with you, I guess I can't really remember it now. I guess it didn't have much of an impact on me. So yeah, maybe I have to take all my because I thought that the one that you showed with her burning the car up, I thought that was how Stella Got Her Groove Back. That's the one I didn't like. The Waiting to Exhale one, I don't remember. So
yeah, it was decent. The only thing missing is there's no Whitney Houston. But they wouldn't have Whitney Houston in it anyway on the TV show version. So like I said, I'm here for it. And if it's good, I'll do some stories on it. So ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this video. And don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe, mask up, Hit us on the gram if you want to know more about what we're doing with our stocks, trying to keep you guys getting that generational wealth. And until the next Sex is Hell video on Wednesday, we'll see you.
Peace.